All right, tonight we're gonna make a steak burrito. We're gonna get around 775 calories, but you could really trim some calories off of this. And when we're said and done, we'll probably be less than that. But I've been having anywhere from 500 to 800 calories left over. And even today with this burrito, I still have like 600 calories left over. So I'm trying to eat just a little bit more. That way, you know, when I get a few months into this, you at some point in time, you've got to eat less. So I want to get most of my calories. So what we're going to use is an Xtreme Wellness tortilla. These are 50 calories a piece. And then I have us roped off for 7 ounces of steak a piece. But I think that's, you know, quite a bit for what we're doing. And then also we got some fat-free refried beans. I'm going to turn this stove on. Let's turn it on high with my iron skillet. We got some fat-free beans. And then I added, you know, no matter what kind of beans I'm using, I do this. I added just a dab of milk. You can't even tell it's in there anymore. A dab of milk, and we each got half a serving of cream cheese. And you could do more, but that's about all I need to just to get a little bit of taste. And then the last thing we're going to do to that, a little salt and pepper. That's a lot of salt, a lot of pepper. Didn't mean to do that much pepper. All right, a little salt, a little pepper. We're going to throw this on there. On low. If we have to add a little bit more milk, we can. Those fat-free beans, I'm not a big fan of refried beans, but they are fat-free, and it is a good combination for what you're doing. All right, for our burrito, we're going to make a little cheese mix. We use the Campbell's cheddar cheese condensed soup, and then we each get an ounce of Velveeta. Velveeta, and this is the United version. So that, and then of course some Rotel. And I'm gonna put this in the microwave because I'm out of little pans and it don't look great right now, but that's what it is. I'll put that in there for 60 seconds when I get closer to being ready for it. In there for 60 seconds, and then stir it up and do 60 seconds again. And then I'm also going to do a little bit of, we thought that was pretty good the other night, rice cauliflower. And that gets you in at 80 calories. The beans per serving. And I actually did 100 grams instead of 124. That's 90 calories. So we're at 75. And it ends up being pretty light. You know, one thing you got to be careful when you do this stuff is the more cheese you use, you can really crank up your calories. And this cheese, for the amount you get, is a decent mix, and kind of helps, you know, thin it out. I use it as a thinning agent, and then also to bulk it up. You don't want your beans to burn. So go ahead and get those. I'm a little hot on that. Trying to get those good and hot. All right. Whenever this pan starts to smoke or starts to show a little bit of heat, we'll give it a little bit of oil, and then let it heat back up. All right, we'll be back when the pan's ready. All right, we can tell our pan's starting to smoke, so it's about ready. One thing that I did is, you know, before I started prepping or whenever I got home, I went ahead and salted my steak. Okay, you either want to salt your steak and cook it, or salt it and let it sit for 30 minutes. Or at least that's what I do. Alright, so it's salted. Now, we're going to find the pepper, and if we can find it, everything's been prearranged. Alright, we're going to use pepper, and then I know you can't see, a little pepper, then a little Uncle Chris's. That's my favorite seasoning. And if you wanted to do this recipe for a whole lot less calories, you could use chicken, you could use less beans, you could use, take the cream cheese out, take the cheese sauce off. There's all sorts of ways to get this thing to 500 calories. But if you're a big boy like me, then you're probably trying to find a way to get more calories. I've had a little bit of problem with that lately. Alright, went pretty heavy. Salt, pepper, and Chris's. We're going to do this since it's for a burrito. I'm going to stick a little bit. Normally it would be on the extreme rare side. I may go a little bit, and that's quite a bit. That'll be alright. I'm going to do a little bit more towards the medium side, maybe. I don't know. I still kind of just want to do it rare. But if it turns out medium, that'll be fine too. It doesn't take long to get the beans hot, so we're really just warming them up. Keep them warm. Keep them from sticking to the bottom. Alright, and we're ready to go with our steak. So I'm going to go 1.5 minutes. I got my oven preheated to 400. Alright, I got my fire alarm about to go off. It's always a good sign.
There's smoke. Smoke alarm, silence.
Silence that smoke alarm. Nice and good and hot. We're going to throw that steak on there. We're going to go for 1.5 minutes. Put it on 2 minutes, and then we'll count it off. And then we're going to put it in the oven for 2 minutes. Alright, we got our cauliflower going. We got our beans ready. When we put this in the oven, we'll get the air fryer turned on. And I'm going to get me out a tray. That I can work on my burritos. Yeah, I know it's not the fanciest thing. Alright. 1.5 minutes, and then we'll flip it. Alright, we're going to flip that steak. Oh yeah. Look at the sear we got on that thing. Alright. Another 1.5 minutes. While we're doing that, our cauliflower rice is done. We're going to cut it open. And we just did it for 4.5 minutes, whatever the package says. Alright. And then just to dice it up a little bit, I'm going to take this Rotel. I'm going to take the Rotel and I'm going to give it a little bit of tomato, a little bit of Rotel. And I'm just going straight into the bag with the Rotel. I'm just going to use a knife and put the rest of the serving that I said was in in my cheese in there. Alright. Got a little Rotel in there. I'm going to mix that up real good. Got a little bit of flavor to it, I think. I hadn't done it before, so we'll see. Alright. Keep mixing that up every once in a while. Let's get a little extra spice to it, a little tomato. Okay, our steak is ready to go into the stove. Watch out, girl. Stay back. Alright, don't you do that. Alright, restart our timer. 2 minutes. We're going to go ahead and get this thing hot so it's ready to go whenever I am. Go ahead and get it going. Now I'm going to take my cheese. We're going to work on it a little bit. I think I'm going to go 60 seconds. Beans, you can see that little bit of cream cheese in there, salt and pepper, just dicing it up a little bit. Try and change it up every once in a while. Nice thin. You got to be careful with these things, and I probably won't be able to fold it up like a burrito. It's probably going to look more like a soft taco, but that's fine too. Maybe I'll be able to get one end, but I'm going to go ahead while I got all this going. Go ahead and get me a nice thick layer of beans. We each get half. We'll probably go ahead and try and use as much of it as we can. That might be a little bit too much, but oh well. I don't mind if it's falling out of there. That'll be alright. I'm not looking for pretty. You may be. If you are, then I'm sure you can don't listen to me on that aspect. I'm trying to get it done and limit the calorie intake. Alright, Maylee, I gotta get back in there. You watch out, girl. Oh, Colorado, get that. Alright. Oh yeah. It's a good looking steak. That pepper's still pretty rare there, guys. That'll be alright. Okay. Got that going. Got our cheese going for 60 seconds. We'll kind of see how long this ends up taking. I'm going to put it back in there for another 60. And I may have used too much of the cheese sauce. You don't want to use too much of it. The Velveeta's got a better taste, so you don't want to mask it too much. But at the same time, it is what it is. All right, I'm going to cut this. Let this steak rest for about 5 minutes. I'm kind of impatient today. Oh yeah, that's what you want that backside of the steak to look like right there. Put it on my cutting board. Let you have a look at it. There we go. Alright, that's 1.5 minutes full steam on each side on the sear, and then I put it in the oven for another 2 minutes. So we're going to let that rest a minute. Alright, our cheese is starting to look good. I probably wish, I mean it's a lot, for a burrito, you know, we don't need near that much. We'll use half of that. All right, and it's good and hot. So is my plate. All right, we'll be back in a second. All right, got my steak cut up, put on there, and I only used about 2/3 of my steak, so this thing's gonna fall, probably end up being closer to 500. All right, got my cheese. We're gonna go ahead and restart that. All right, got my cheese. Go ahead and get us a nice layer of cheese on there. On both sides. All right, and then I've never stuck toothpicks in an air fryer, so we're gonna find out how that goes. But I'm gonna take it in the best I can. I'm gonna get this thing folded up. I mean, it's full, I hope. I want it full. That's my whole goal, is to fit as much in there as I can. I think I did a pretty good job of it. You gotta be real careful with these burritos. With these deals, they are really soft. All right, we got one ready to go. I don't even know if I can fit both of them in there. Okay, get the other one folded up. I don't even know if I need a toothpick, but I always use them. And then, if I can, I'm going to be as careful as I can, but I don't have olive oil spray, so I'm just going to give just a real light spray. Try and do it real quick on this side. And I'm probably only going to be able to fry up one side, I feel like. All right. Go ahead and load up my air fryer. Best I can. I'm hoping I can fit them both in there. Boy, that's going to be something else, I think. I think that's going to be really good. Once again, be careful with your tortillas. They're 50 calories for a reason, because they make them super thin. All right. We're going to drop that in there for 4 minutes. See what happens. We'll be back. All right, they're finished up. See if we can figure out how to go. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I think 4 minutes is as long as I'm going to go. I'm only going to go on one side. If they were folded up, I probably could. But I wanted to load them up. So that's what we got right there. Go ahead and put that on our plate. See if we can figure out how to get it out of there. Oh yeah, that's pretty easy. I just used the same deal as I used for my steak. All right, there you are. Burrito and cauliflower rice. And I'm saying that's right around $6.75. All right, enjoy.